Sky Sports Stadium from Seattle, Washington. I'm now joined by Lou Stanfield. Big Lou going to sit in on this Cup semi-final. Belmont Shore, perennial powerhouse, national champions many times, will take on the red-hot favourites, Seattle. What are your thoughts on this game?
Well, it's going to be an exciting game. Like we said, a lot of tradition of 7s in Belmont Shore as well as 15, so you're going to see a lot of great play out of them. Much like majority of the teams are going to be facing Seattle in this tournament, they're going to have to bring their A game, in Seattle as well, if they want to make sure that they advance into the next round. Yeah,
definitely is. Seattle looked the goods all day yesterday. They were absolutely outstanding. Belmont, a little bit of gamesmanship towards the end of the pools. They had an off game against Old Blue. Didn't look their best, but came out in the quarterfinals and were absolutely outstanding, winning right at the end. Eric Duchel, the beast, getting the try that got him over the line. We're going to go down to the field now and pick up all the action as you got your first semi-final for the men's. Seattle taking on Belmont promises to be an absolute cracker.
Let's see a little bit of hopefully some good play out of their youngsters, and then obviously we're going to look towards the Belmont veterans and Peter Seo and Ed Pitts to bring him home for the steady play.
Yes, here we go. It looks like Peter Seo is going to get us started here. Ball in hand, and the Seattle club will receive. They have firepower absolutely everywhere on the park. Nice start. Ball goes over the sideline, though. It's kind of like an anti-climax, isn't it? You get so excited for the start of the game, and then they kick it out.
Quick line out taken by William Rossalega. Referee says no, he will not allow that.
You look at these times. A lot of it comes down. You know, it's good to see Kevin Swearin back. I'm sure, you know, the people at Elastoplast and all the athletic tape companies are more excited to see Kevin Swearin back, because he is absolutely covered in tape this morning. But it's going to come down to, I believe, Shalom Sunula. He had an absolutely outstanding summer with the 15s, moving into the unfamiliar role of fly half. He was great. I thought he had a great summer, and he does a really good job at leading this team around the field. And here he is, no relation to the man next to me, Tim Stanfield, with the ball now, trying to work his way across. Unfortunately, a little mistake there, loses the ball. That's exactly what Belmont are going to need from Seattle. A couple of little unforced errors like that to give them an opportunity in the red zone.
Slow start of the game, minute in. Neither team can really get anything going. Seattle, a little knock on there from Tim Stanfield. Let's see if this scrum can go a little better than the last one, and let's get Belmont Shore going forward with the ball.
Certainly, as we see Muse with the ball in hand here, he's going to feed it in. He's been pretty good, James Muse. I kind of liked him yesterday. Bit of an unassuming character, but when he gets the ball in hand, he can do some magic things with those feet. Ball comes in, gets it back to Seo. Seo looks across to his left, finds Pitts. Pitts has got runners on his outside. Iosea tries the goose step to go on outside. Yeah, Tim Stanfield having none of that. Beautiful tackle. Seo goes in now, moves it across to Muse. He comes into the middle. There's Shapiro. Keeps coming across to Tracy. Finds the other Tracy. Matt to Jack. Jack Tracy was great yesterday. Strong ball runner. They've been held up here. Great stuff from Myers Cragwell. But he's going to get a penalty here for offside. But again, yesterday, the big difference in the quarterfinals from Seattle was the intensity in defense and the way they were hitting the rucks with such aggression. They're a fancy side. You wouldn't expect them to be that aggressive at the breakdown, but they turned it on.
You know, Dan, that's one thing you can't afford to do against Seattle. If you go in chest high into one of these tackle situations, you're not going to get that ball back. They're either going to turn it over immediately, or you're going to turn it over in the form of a scrum. But so teams got to make sure they get flat backs going into these contact situations, as Peter Seo does right there.
Yeah, nice little set piece from Belmont, ends up unleashing Peter Seo down the left-hand side. Shapiro now, he's a little lost, could be trouble. Rossalega comes in. Oh, he read it like a Dr. Zeus book, and he's put a world of hurt there. Great stuff from him, Rossalega, the Fijian sensation. He's played plenty of 7s. He knows what he's doing out there.
He is no stranger to the game. 15s or 7s, William Rossalega can bring it all day, every day.
Yeah, Keelan Gordon now gets it back inside to Stanfield. He gets around Tracy. Stanfield set himself loose down the sideline. He's got Muse coming on. He jumps right over the top of him. Gets through Shapiro. He's beaten everyone, this guy. Unbelievable stuff from Stanfield. And he puts it down right underneath the post for a try.
That was a fantastic Central Washington connection there. Keelan Gordon setting up Tim Stanfield perfectly, coming off the sideline, changing the angle, working off the sideline. Stanfield just putting it away. Some fancy moves, fancy footwork there from the young man. And, you know, he's electrifying when he's on, that's for certain.
Yeah, looking to make up. He had that drop ball early in the game, and he's certainly made up for that in spades as he gets the first try. Seattle 5, leading Belmont 0. Shalom Suniula converts, making it 7 points to 0. Just 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half of this Cup semi-final between Seattle and Belmont Shore.
On that note, with Tim Stanfield, you know you're gonna make mistakes in a rugby game. It's a long game typically. Sevens maybe a little bit shorter, but all in all, you can't afford to dwell on any of the mistakes you make. Tim Stanfield does a great job there, recollecting himself. Next opportunity he got, he put one away. Fantastic work by the young man.
Oh, a little bit of favoritism there for the Stanfield from Stanfield. That's all right, though. Suniula gets us restarted. Shapiro gets underneath it from Belmont, and again, he is absolutely smashed. That man again, Rusalika, doing a world of hurt in defense. Peter Seo, the crafty veteran. Oh, tantalizing it goes. Tracy has thrown that one. That was, I believe, remember the Titan style, running the veer offense as he tries to lateralize or let's pop forward that pass, channeling his inner Tim Tebow, and it looked like a Tim Tebow pass too, didn't it? It was wobbling every which way. Referee, I don't know what he's going to call this, almost intentionally forward. He's called the penalty there in Seattle. You don't want to give him this sort of platform to attack with.
Absolutely not, Dan. That was a big mistake by Belmont. Good defense by Seattle that paid off. Very risky if they had gotten it away. But as you can see, they forced a mistake, and here they are off again to the races on the front foot.
There we go. Suniula with the ball, moves it out to the right. There's Mike Palafau. Watch the fancy footwork of Palafau as he steps through. Well contained by Peter Seo, though. Belmont need to work very hard in defense here. Set the breakdown. Could be a turnover. They hit it with some aggression. Beautiful stuff from Muse. Still, though, the ball sits loose, and now they earn the penalty. That's better stuff from Belmont Shore. That's what they're going to need at the breakdown. Meet fire with fire for this Seattle side.
And they're giving an extra 10 here. Oh, no, the referee's just getting back. Peter Seo looks like he might have to go for touch here.
Yeah, they need to get this ball out of their own half. I mean, Seattle can run 100 meters and score. We saw that yesterday against Nyack with Kevin Swearin. And that's something you definitely don't want to do, not find touch, and give Shalom Suniula that much space with the ball, and he will hurt you with the step there. Nice contact, though. Beautiful tackle from Tracy, trying to make up for that horrendous pass just earlier.
Great
he
work.
does steal the ball, though. Comes back down now to the other Tracy, Jack. He finds Iasia. He's got some space up the middle. Can he get away? Fends away from one. Can't get away from Swearin. Great cover defense. Ball's loose. Bodies coming in, flying everywhere as Ed Pitts crushes Craigwell. Trouble here. Rusalika gives it to Swearin. He goes back inside, though, Swearin. There's numbers out to the right if he can move it. Gets the ball out. It's on the ground. Could be for anyone. Suniula picks it up. He's got Stanfield. Turns him back inside. No one there. Stanfield could be in trouble. They're playing the player off the ball. Referee says play on. The ball runs down now right short of the Seattle line, and he's going to come back for the penalty for not playing that player. And that's big stuff there. As Rambo gives me the nod of approval in the grandstands. He's pumped up.
That was some good, well, exciting play to say the least, although it got a little sloppy towards the end. But, you know, sevens, sometimes that's going to be the case. People want to make the gambles. The big gambles pay off. Sometimes it gets a little loose, a little too loose for either team's liking.
Oh, Lou Stanfield, great stuff. Channeling his into Kenny Rogers there. Know when to hold him, know when to fold him. And right now, Belmont Shore holding on to some cards up their sleeve. Let's see what they've got. Short ball to Tracy. He can't hold it. He should have folded, and he's dropped the ball, and now Seattle have another chance with a scrum about 30 yards from their line.
That was great commentary work, Dan Powers. Yeah, Tracy, big, strong runner. He's going to hit that short line. He's got to make sure he holds on to that ball. He's a big fella, and those short lines can pay great dividends if you just hold on to that pill.
You know, Colin Hawley, big fan of Jack Tracy, said he was a real physical guy, really liked it. And, you know, if you live by the sword, sometimes you've got to die by the sword as those physical players. You run into some walls like William Rusalika. I mean, he's a big boy, Rusalika, isn't he? You're just not going to get the better of him very often. No,
absolutely. William Rusalika, he pushes upwards to about 230, 240 pounds, and he's a quick man. He's got some fancy feet, and he can do it all. He's a very versatile player, and he's a guy on defense where if he makes contact with you, you're going to feel it.
Here we go. Belmont, though, get a short arm, and they're on attack. It's right in front of him, Tracy. Can he go? He'll get through. There you go. That's, you talked about it, Lou Stanfield. A short memory in rugby is a beneficial thing, and Tracy proves it after dropping the ball, picks that one up. No one in front of him, strides over for a try. 7 points to 5. Seattle hold on to a 2-point lead with the conversion to come.
Fantastic work by Tracy, probing the defense. You know, first thing you got to have on defense is that pillar man, that man right by the ruck. He sees the gap. No one's there. That's the shortest line you can take. Biggest defensive flaw you could have. Great work by Tracy.
Oh, the philosophies of Bruce Lee. The shortest distance between 2 points is straight line. That's what he would say.
Very much so, very much so.
He loved it.
Tracy, obviously a proponent of Bruce Lee's teachings. And, both teams coming out here, it's a little sloppy in the beginning, but we're looking at we're looking at a pretty tight game, Dan. First half, 2-point difference. Both teams playing some very brilliant rugby in certain aspects, but we also see a bit of a sloppy play. So we're going to have to see these two teams first game of the day. They're going to have to tighten up a little bit in the second half in order to really pull away from either team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Lou. I think for Seattle, they've had the opportunities there. A couple of handling errors, uncharacteristic for them, the handling errors. And Belmont are just playing tenacious rugby. This is their style of rugby. They love finals football. It's their thing. They've won here. They've been here so many times. Seattle definitely have the firepower, but you kind of feel that gritty kind of defense, that tough Belmont short attitude. If Seattle's not careful, they could find themselves in trouble here.
Absolutely, Dan. I think that the loose style of play really plays into Belmont's style. They love that. They love winging the ball around, and if they get one of those loose passes off, they're off to the races. Seattle coming off a great day yesterday. They're going to really need to tighten it up. Their game sometimes does fall within that loose play, but when they play structured and they play the way they train, then they're a very hard team to stop. But as you can see right now, they're a little loose with a pill. One try out of Seattle in one half, that's a little uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I think when the games start to get a little loose like this, you look to players like Shalom Suniula just to take control and play a little bit more simple. Kevin Swearin, another guy, they're such experienced guys. They've played on the circuit for a long, long time. You just want to see him grab the game by the scruff of the neck and calm things down. For Belmont, that's going to fall solely on Peter Seo. He is an experienced campaigner. He's also the coach, which is going to be tough for him. He's got to wear two hats here. He's going to calm the boys down now and just be like, 7 minutes. That's all we've got. Just play. Give me 7 minutes, and we're in the final, and then anything can happen.
Absolutely. They're one game away from seeing the final, so they got to come back the second half, and let's hope that both teams tighten it up, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. Grab your popcorn. Get ready. Terrell Owens had nothing on these boys out here. They're going to go and excite you for the next 7 minutes as Shalom Suniula gets us restarted. Nice little kickoff. Well handed by Shapiro, though. He's tackled about 40 metres out from his line. Nice little one-arm offload there. Comes out to Muse. Now Pitts, another seasoned campaigner. Seo with the ball. Throws a dummy. He's through Seo. He needs some support, though. He's isolated. It comes in the shape of Ed Pitts as he clears out. Muse goes in. Moves it across to Matt Tracy. He finds Shapiro. Goes out to Jack Tracy, one-on-one on the wing with Rusalika. That's an interesting battle. I don't think you want to go one-on-one with the great one too many times out there, and William Rusalika, and they turn it over, and that's one thing you don't want to do, Lou.
Fantastic work by Rusalika. He knows he's got a big man ahead of him. He can either come up hard and make a big hit. Instead, he holds his ground, tries to give him a little bit of space, and forces the turnover.
Yeah, tough pass there. Kevin Swearin had the right idea, channeling his inner Matt Gidley, trying to do a little flick pass out the back. The execution didn't live up to it, though, and the ball goes down. Still with Seattle, though. Craigwell has the ball. Steps inside, beats one, uses that footwork. Can't get around Shapiro as he's dragged down about 20 metres out from the line. Suniula, he shifts it across to Palafal. Long, flat ball. Swearin needs to run it back inside. Stanfield holds on the outside. He breaks the tackle, Swearin. Can't get through the detention from Pitts, though. Dragged out about 5 from the line. Suniula. Geez, they have a good passing game. It's such long, flat passing. And Rusalika, he's going to be impossible to stop from there as he dots it down for a try. And that's the start Seattle needed for the second half.
Absolutely, Dan. Very well structured rugby there. Each time they went sideline to sideline. When they came back, they had a full line. Guys ready, hands out. They're ready to play some rugby. That's what Seattle needs to do here. They need to cater more towards that structured style of rugby and rely on the athleticism, the strength of each player on the field to get the job done. Very accurate passing. They're well drilled. They need to stick to that style, and I think it'll carry them well through the rest of this tournament.
You see the difference when you pass to space instead of passing to the play. You put the ball out in front of him and let him run onto it. And the passing from Seattle is so crisp. I mean, Mike Palafal, Suniula, those guys just throw that long, flat bullet pass. It seems like it's perfect every time. It just gives the outside guys, the Swearins, the Craigwells, those guys a chance to attack on the front foot.
Absolutely. My old coach, Jack Clark, used to give a little bit of a comparison between two young kids playing baseball who would get upset about not being able to hit the first baseman going from shortstop. It's a 70-foot pass. They're getting real upset about it. Well, you got two rugby players that are passing side to side, 10 feet apart. They mess it up, they don't even care. It's that attention to detail that makes good players great. And Seattle's got a lot of great players, and you can see in that detail right there in their passing.
Oh, great plays indeed. It reminds me of the end of Rocky 3, start of Rocky 4, Apollo Creed, Rocky Balboa. You taught me everything you know. He goes, listen, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. And that's the difference.
That is absolutely, Dan. You know, these guys coming out, Seattle making a few substitutions on the field. John Cullen, Mike Nelson, as well as a couple others, Rocco Maurer, a few fixtures into the USA Sevens team. Looks like Tiberio put a ball on the ground there, but they're still playing. Come back the other side.
Here we go, ball in the hands here. They're going to run it out. Good stuff from the Seattle side. Playing advantage, though. The turnover from Belmont. Referee's going to bring it back up, though. No advantage. We're going to play it, knock on.
You know, going back to Belmont and Ed Pitts. Ed Pitts has been a fixture in American rugby for quite some time. I played with him in 2005, All-Americans. Fantastic inside center. Comes from, I want to say, San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly. Great player. Like I said, it's been around for a while. He's one of the veteran guys where his skills and his leadership are going to be very important these last 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah, played against Ed back in the old Super League days, and he's a tough customer, man. He really was. He would go at you for 80 minutes, and he's the kind of guy that in finals rugby you really want in the trenches with you, because you know he's not going to give an inch. And he's been good so far for Belmont as they look to attack right underneath their goalpost. Could be trouble here, finally getting it out, but well met from Seattle and held up. Great tackle there. That looks like it might be Maurer who's on the field now as a replacement, and Seattle may have turned this one over.
Rocco Maurer, not a stranger to the tackle, as he used to be outside linebacker. John Cullen walking in. Football player to football player right there. Crossover athletes showing that they can do it in rugby. Fantastic work. I think that might have been not closely watched by the referee. It looked like maybe he had tapped that ball and never left his hand. However, referee's word is gold, and he's underneath the post for a quick 5. John Cullen.
He's a big boy, John Cullen. Would have taken some stopping no matter how he tapped that ball from 5 meters out. Nonetheless, the referees awarded the try 19 points to 5. And it is interesting, you know, you look at these crossover athletes, you look at wide receivers, you look at safeties and the smaller guys. There's not too many offensive linemen that want to put their hand up and play sevens.
Absolutely not. You know, the thing is John comes from a background of football, but he's also played a little bit of basketball in his time. And in my opinion, basketball players are always going to make the best crossover athletes. You know, they know how it feels to have a ball in their hands. They know how to pass it. And football players have a harder time, you know, getting that fantastic take right there by Peter Seo.
Yeah, Belmont are going to have to do something pretty soon here. Just 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Down by over 2 scores now. They're going to attack out the right, but again, the defense is so solid. Rocco Maurer, beautiful stuff from him.
Kellen Gordon cleaning it up. Mike Nelson, he's got plenty of room. John Cullen is outside.
Nelson, the little man, just breaking tackles. Does well there. Thought he could have thrown the pass, but he decides to keep it in hand. Probably not a bad option as they play advantage now. Peter Tiberio throws a dummy. He'll score next to the post. It just goes to show the class of this outfit in Seattle. The players that they're bringing on, the Maurers, the Nelsons, and the Tiberios, these guys are coming in off the bench. They would start at just about any other club in the country.
Absolutely. You know, we're very fortunate up here in Seattle to get a saturation of high-quality players. But let's not forget about the about the native players here coming from Washington. Mike Nelson played at Central Washington. Tim Stanfield the same, as well as Kellen Gordon. 3 fantastic players, great fundamentals, hard players. They play the game because they love it, and they play it to the best of their ability. Day in, day out, they give everything they have. And as you can see there, all 3 of them very big proponents in this game right here, leading to tries left, right, center. Great work by the Washington natives.
Yeah, great stuff indeed. We had Mel Denham in here yesterday, who's now coaching the women's program up there at Central Washington, the Wildcats. But the men's program has come along in leaps and bounds over the last 5 years, and they are definitely a powerhouse now as we get things restarted here. Peter Tiberio kicks it off. Pete Seo still on the field. I think he's played every minute of every game now, Pete Seo. A real captain's knock. Still, though, the tenacity of the Seattle defense just comes flying into the rucks, looking to turn things over. Penalty, though, not happy with it, the referee. They're going to have to go quick. They do so. They bring it out to the left now. Iasia moves across to Pitts. Comes out to his winger there.
Rocco Maurer, 100% tackles on the game. He is a strong young man. Oh, Mike Powell foul. Referee says, do not touch that ball. Non toca.
Indeed. Here's Eric Duchel, gets on the field now. Moves across to Seo. He's got Tracy on his outside. Goes back inside to Duchel, the big man. He'll be tough to stop one-on-one. Tiberio, beautiful textbook tackle around the big tree trunks that Eric Duchel calls legs. And now referee's going to stop play here. Could be reaching into the pocket. And Mike Palafau's had something to say to him, and he has something to say back to Mike, and it's in the shape of a yellow card. He'll get 2 minutes to sit down. 25 seconds left on the clock, up 26-5. Probably won't have much of an influence on the game, though.
No, but it's discipline that you need to keep, Dan. That's one of those things where arguing with the referee isn't going to get you very far, because he's made the call, and I've never seen a referee turn a call back the other way. So keeping your mouth shut is probably going to be the best case scenario.
No, I've always been told that talking back to a referee is like putting a big muffler on a small car. Sure, it sounds good, but really, what does it prove?
Absolutely. Here we go. Seattle going the other way with it. Down a man, still on the front foot. Referee calls it back for a forward pass. You know, going back to Mike Palafau, fantastic fixture in American rugby. Played a lot of his time overseas in Italy, and with that, that's the game, folks. Seattle OPSB taking away another victory, going into the final.
Yeah, they're going to go into the final. Everyone expected them to be there, and you know, good job by Belmont though. They've come in here. They lost their best player, Mikey Teo. Yesterday, he got ruled out with a calf injury, unfortunately. But Belmont Shore, they did their best. They're going to go into that third place matchup. Seattle go through to the final. We're about to find out in just a moment who their opposition is going to be. It's an interesting story here. We've got Old Blue, who would have been probably the favourite in this game up until yesterday when they lost Nate Augsburger to injury. They're going to rely heavily on Luke Hume now. But Kansas City, Cinderella story, Colin. How about them? They came out, got absolutely thrashed in their first game of Seattle. They've come out of the West as the second qualifier, but now find themselves in the semi-finals here against Old Blue with a chance to go to the final.
Yeah, Kansas City has been super impressive coming out and beating a team that I thought was going to go all the way to the top with Seattle, and this one was Denver. But they came out and got a huge victory yesterday, and they are absolutely deserving to be in the spot that they're in. I think as a team, they're extremely dynamic, extremely dangerous across the board. But the biggest parts for Kansas City that's gotten to this point is their work off the ball, their hard work, the momentum going in through every single player on the pitch, the support, the running lines, supporting the line breaks, all those little things that create a team. I think they've got it in spades. So now, Old Blue, they've lost Nate Augsburger. He's definitely one of the guys to watch, one of the better players of the tournament thus far. Luke Hume, the number 9, has got to put this team on his back and open this game up for him. He's got some support there, but he's got to be the guy who's got to get them on the front foot.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we were talking about this a little earlier off camera, just the size of this Kansas City team. They are big boys. And let me tell you, if they can get physical, there are Derek Lipscomb.